Hello, everyone. Welcome very much in the name of the Institute for European Studies of the Free University of Brussels and of the Tahrir Institute for Middle East Policy. It's very brave of you to have arrived here and on time, as everything is blocked outside. So you haven't been warned because we were warned last night that they were going to block everything today. But the good thing is that we had never have a conference that was as secure as today. So we are surrounded by security, by police, military, and barbed wire. When we started organizing this lecture with Moustafa on the future of Turkey, it was back in October 2017. Turkey was hot in the news. It was 1 year after the coup, 2 years before presidential elections. So it was an interesting timing for having this lecture today. But today, unexpectedly, Turkey has become not just hot, but very hot. Turkey has finished just now its attack on Afrin. The last independent media have been shut down or has been bought by pro-government people. But even more interesting still, perhaps, is that President Erdogan has called for snap elections on the 24th of June. This is exactly 2 months from now. When I said yesterday on a think tank conference that it is maybe possible that Erdogan would not win the elections, everybody started laughing because, yeah, that's not credible. Of course he will win. It's going to be fake elections and so forth. But actually today there was an opinion poll coming out that said that if some people would be candidate against him, he might only get 40% in the second round and not more than 47% in the second. Of course, they're just opinion polls, but it is clear that things are perhaps moving in Turkey and that more things might be possible than what we expect or that we think is going to be expected. And when I was in Ankara last month, I saw the people of one of the new parties. It's called İyi Party or the Good Party, and out of nothing, in just a few months' time, these people got almost 20% again in the same opinion polls. Is this going to be the result of the elections? I have no idea. But again, it's clear that things are moving. And it's not just moving in one country of the Middle East. No, it's moving in a key ally of NATO, a key country for the EU, as Turkey is still in accession talks to become a member of the European Union. Turkey is involved in Syria. It's getting closer to Russia and to Iran. Turkey is at the same time confronting Saudi Arabia and Qatar in the Gulf. In short, Turkey is an absolute key player in the Middle East and actually in the world. So there's a lot to explain and also a lot to expect from one of the major speakers that we could have on Turkey, which is Moustafa Akyol. Small introduction, as you perhaps all know Moustafa. I mean, he's a historian, which is good, and a journalist. He wrote and still writes pieces for Al Monitor, Al Hurriyet Daily, and for the New York Times. He's an author of 3 important books, I think. One is Rethinking the Kurdish Question. The second is, I think, his bestseller, Islam Without Extremes, a Muslim Case for Liberty, of which I remember perhaps the most important phrase of the book, which is there is no compulsion in religion. And recently he published a book, The Islamic Jesus, which is looking for common ground between Muslims, between Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, about the role of Jesus in Islam, but also the historical role of Christian Jews in Saudi Arabia, who might have influenced the Prophet Muhammad. In 2017, his book, Islam Without Extremes, was banned in Malaysia. And not only that, I mean, Moustafa was also jailed in Malaysia because he was saying that apostates should not be threatened with the death penalty. Now, he's free, and he's living in Boston as a senior visiting fellow at the Freedom Project at Wellesley College in Massachusetts. Dear Moustafa, you're free to speak your mind, free to talk about the future of Turkey. And one thing is sure, because of the security, or despite insecurity, you will not be jailed here. So I can guarantee, please, I can give you the floor. Please, Moustafa.